from the advertising media capital of the world, New Milford, Connecticut, wherever that is. This is Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson, a bi-weekly-ish podcast about all things automotive marketing. Now, here's your host, Matt Wilson.
Oh, thank you, big voice guy. That's Jim McCarthy, by the way, from Jim McCarthy Voiceovers. Hello, welcome to another edition of Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson. Like he said, live from New Milford, the marketing capital of the world. I'm just kidding. We have more cows than people here in my neck of the woods. I'm actually across from a farm. What says marketing more than being across from a farm, right? Anyway, we are live this morning here on, we're everywhere. Thanks to Restream, Restream.io. They allow you to stream live to 30 plus social platforms at once. And you can watch us live right now. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm saying this, because if you're watching us or hearing us right now, you are live. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whatever that is, Daily Motion. So thanks for joining us. And if you're listening as a regular podcast, well, this comes out on a bi-weekly-ish basis, thanks for listening as well. I appreciate it. Good to be here. I'm having fun doing these live episodes. And I got a co-host today. His name is Colin Carasquilla. He is the digital marketing manager at Nielsen Automotive Group. There he is. Hey, Colin. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Hold on. Let me just push a button again. All right.
Hello. What's going on, Matt?
Hold on.
How are you doing?
All right. Now let's see if we have Colin.
Can you hear me now?
That's the best thing about live broadcast is sometimes you're live and sometimes there's technical issues. And my experience on live radio has taught me that there's always technical issues. It just happens. So hold on, Colin. I'll be back to you in 1 second. I'm going to try something this way. Colin and I are going to chat with Josie Vaccaro. She is the e-commerce and customer service coordinator at BMW Newmarket. And the reason we're talking to her is Colin, actually, who's hopefully co-hosting here, if we can get the sound going, is Colin saw a LinkedIn post from Josie about her BMW store hitting 20,000 followers on TikTok. And I've done a couple episodes about wanting to learn more about TikTok. And Josie joins me now. Let's see if her audio works. Hello. Oh, I know what I was doing. I had it on mute. Oh my gosh. Hi, Josie. How are you?
Hello. How are you? Thank you for having me on your show.
Sure. Thanks for coming on. It's after all that, it turns out that the problem with hearing you guys was a button on my board that had you guys on mute, which makes no sense because you'd think as a former radio guy, I'd have the technical part figured out. Hi, Colin.
Hello. Listen, I know I talk a lot and you're just trying to keep me quiet. That's okay. I'm happy to be here and co-hosting with always, Matt.
I'm like, we could have Colin co-host, but we'll just turn his mic off for a little while.
That's it. I knew it.
Anyway, thank you both for joining me. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here on Mostly Automotive Marketing. Okay, Josie, Colin saw on LinkedIn that your BMW store, BMW Newmarket, you guys are up there in Canada, hit 20,000 followers on TikTok. And he tagged me in the post. And the reason that interests me is I think in the automotive world, right, a lot of dealers, we focus on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, probably in that order. And TikTok, which is probably fairly new to the automotive realm and people in automotive, is something that a lot of dealerships probably haven't thought of or just started doing, haven't seen tremendous growth, or in my case, in my agency, we haven't really dabbled in that yet. And so to see your store with 20,000 followers, I thought, and Colin thought, was kind of impressive. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's start with what made you decide let's get the store on TikTok and start TikToking. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So I work for Dilawri Group of Companies, which is the largest automotive group in Canada. And at each location, it's encouraged that we have somebody who participates with the social media campaigns and also puts our dealership out there. So we're always looking for what's new, what's trending, and what's going to kind of take off. So one of my coworkers said, "Hey, have you seen this car video?" So we just started watching car videos and saying, "Hey, we can do that, and we can showcase our cars as well, and the kind of the dealership life that we have going on here." So I kind of got encouraged by that, and I really started having creative visions of what I wanted our TikTok account to look like. So I was inspired by other people's videos and how it was gaining traction, and I decided to let's do it. Let's jump on board.
I took a look yesterday. We talked yesterday, kind of a pre-interview, and I went on the TikTok and checked out. I call it the TikTok because I'm old and out of touch.
Like Google.
Yeah, like Google. So I went on yesterday and I checked it out, and it's awesome. There's a wide variety of videos up there. How did the development of the type of content you were going to post start? Did you start with, okay, we're going to do, ABC, or did it kind of happen organically as you started posting things and seeing what was getting views? How did that process work for you?
Sure. So I started to showcase cars that I thought maybe people would be interested in, and I would just kind of take random clips. My videos are very organic. The ones that I've tried to actually like plan and edit videos, I feel like those ones they don't do as well. TikTok kind of relies on that unpredictability, and I think that's what consumers want, right? They want to know what's going to happen next or what am I watching, right? The beauty about TikTok is that it's only 15-second clips, and it keeps playing next after next, so you don't actually know what you're going to be looking at next. So you have about 5 seconds to grasp that your customer's attention on like if this is something that they want to watch or if they want to watch more of your videos. So I took it upon myself to really creatively design, like if I take a little image of or a video of people moving the cars out of the showroom, that's how it started. Is they were moving a Z4 out of the showroom, and I was like, you know what, this is a really nice car. I think people want to see this, and then I just added a really popular song that was at the time, and it actually got some traction, and I was really surprised. And I'm like, wow, at least 200 people wanted to watch my video, right? So that's how it all started. And then I got inspired to add our staff, get them involved and have them participate, because I wanted to kind of showcase the daily life that we have going on here and have a personal relationship built with the people who are viewing our videos and us. So I actually did a video and I encouraged people to get involved. So one of the things that I did, one of my strategies was I had every Tuesday, I would say, guys, I'm going to do Taco Tuesday video. I'm going to go and buy tacos. Who's involved? Like, who wants to be a part of it? So they would participate and I would give them free lunch, right? So that's how I encourage people to get involved and to be a part of our videos and make them dance in front of the camera.
That video has almost 5,000 views on it, which is fantastic.
And no better way to get people involved than bribing them with food, right? I mean, come on, that's what it comes down to. Hey, you want a incentive and a monetary bonus? No, just give me a Dunkin' Donuts gift card or some free tacos, and they'll do exactly what you want. So, speaking of which, though, actually, I took some notes. I got deep into the BMW New Market TikTok last night, and you had mentioned, hey, 200 people had seen your video. Well, how about this? I mean, I'm sure you know better than anyone else, but you had a 2020 BMW M4 Coupe video on there, which ended up garnering 43,000 likes. Okay, 43,000 for all those listening out there. 43,000 likes, 159 comments, and then over 280,000 plays. So to me, that's pretty insane when you end up looking at, the platform in its simplicity and then what you were able to garner with that. So, my question becomes, and I know we had discussed this in our, brief interview yesterday, but insight for dealers and how they take action on that. Are you reaching out to the people, the 159 comments that might be on there? And I'm sure there's a lot of fire emojis and, hey, that's really cool. But are you taking that then as the e-commerce director and reaching out to these people and saying, hey, would you be interested in coming in for a test drive? Or how are you trying to utilize what you're doing, not just in a branding aspect, but to try to generate some sales for the store? Or is that something that you're still working on?
Of course. So the beautiful thing about TikTok is that it's an app that can, or a tool that can provide videos to use across platforms. So what I do is I take the video from TikTok and I'll post it to our Facebook, our Instagram, and my LinkedIn, right? That's where you came across and saw some of my videos there.
Right.
And it just brings awareness. So that's my primary goal, is to promote our BMW dealership in Newmarket, and also create awareness as we exist there. And I have the link for our website. I do get requests sometimes for people to ask me how much a car is, or to work out a quote for them, or to connect them with someone at our dealership, which I do. Normally they do that through the DMs, and that has been successful, and it is gaining a lot more traction. But what I find really satisfying to me is when I see the same people that are following us on TikTok on our Instagram account.
Right.
And that's where I'm actually spending a lot more time. I'm showing the store and our stories, and I'm gaining on a personal level with our customers. They get to know us better, right? I can answer their questions. I ask for their email address. I reach out to them that way as well. And we go from there. But the one thing I find with TikTok is that it's international. So not everybody's local. So it's not like I can just invite somebody into our dealership. And it's still good because it puts us on the map.
It's not like you're almost moving down the funnel to a certain extent. Like TikTok is sort of, they're in TikTok. Anybody could be watching from anywhere. Maybe a possible customer, maybe not. They're there for the entertainment value. And if it's a local person who is a customer, you almost move them down to Instagram, where the talk becomes less about the entertainment part of it and more about possible conversion as a customer. I hadn't thought about it that way. That's an interesting way to look at it. It sounds like for TikTok, and this is kind of what I suspected without having ever gotten involved in it, is that it's not a direct sales tool. It's more of I call it relational. Without getting into the whole thing, I look at advertising as relational or transactional. And from a transactional standpoint, you're talking to somebody who's at the purchase level. You're hitting them up on SEM, they're looking at lease specials, that kind of thing. And then there's the relational, which is kind of starting the relationship. You're showing them content that isn't priced based at the transaction level. And this is for sure relational, which is good for getting you guys out there. And if some people fall down to the transactional level, then that's a benefit of it. Have you had to spend any money producing, getting the music is free on TikTok, right? There's been no cost associated with this for you guys.
Right? You had to buy tacos. Come on, Matt. She had to buy the tacos.
Yeah, that's as far as it goes.
That's as far as it. How important is it to have buy-in from management? Like, okay, so you're spending time from your job, and I'm assuming the TikTok isn't the primary part of your job. So you're spending time on this. How important is it for your managers to believe in the value of it for your store to let you spend time working on it?
I get a lot of support from my management team, and I even get them involved. They're in our videos and they see the value in it. And, it's not at our management level at our dealership. I get so much support, but also it goes beyond that. It's our other stores that we have through the Dilawri Group that we promote this participation in social media and promoting your own brand.
Yeah, and it's important how a lot of that stuff, it has to come from the top. Otherwise, you're kind of stifling the process if it's not coming from corporate or from a person who runs the dealership. It's hard to kind of spread your wings with these kind of things. So it's nice to hear that your group is encouraging of that.
So speaking of the encouragement, Josie, one of the things that I was thinking about was because for one, I think that this is great, and a lot of dealers can benefit from not just utilizing a platform like TikTok, but thinking about all the other platforms that Matt had mentioned. So, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, these are all platforms that you can use organically, meaning you don't have to spend any money on, or you can buy people tacos and kind of incentivize them to use, the platforms, which is great. You keep the costs low. For dealers that would be interested in doing something like that, how is your dealership going about choosing your social media champion? Okay. And how are you and your dealership group holding those people accountable, to ensure that they are representing the brand as, the management team would want the brand to be represented, and doing right by the business? How are you guys doing that?
Of course. So the Dilari Group encourages everyone to generate content for social media. Um, we find that it's not everyone's area of expertise, so we get stores to identify the individuals who excel in social media. This results in being able to create a team of 18 to 20 people in Ontario alone, from different departments within the stores to come together to be social media champions. So in terms of holding people responsible and keeping it to the brand, everything is being monitored because we do share and we support each other and we encourage quality videos that really strives to get our message across, which is, we are professionals, we are an automotive group, but we really want you to know who we are and why you should buy from us.
Sure. So I guess to extrapolate on that, is this so everyone's utilizing the main business account, or do people have their own business accounts that they then are linking back to the dealership, or do you guys utilize a form of both maybe?
It's a form of both. So for me, I actually would manage the Instagram account, the Facebook, and on top of that, the TikTok account. But we also have a regional office that has access to this as well. And that is more or less your digital marketing team, which has the regular posts across the board that they post.
Very cool.
So it's up to us to kind of personalize it, take pictures with customers and post a delivery picture or tell people what strategies we're using to be successful. A lot of my colleagues, they're using LinkedIn, they're using Instagram, they're using Facebook to be so successful. And our dealership just happens to be TikTok, right?
How long, by the way, just to recap for everybody who may be just joining us, we are talking to Josie Vaccaro. She's the e-commerce and customer service coordinator at BMW Newmarket in Canada. I love talking to people from Canada. My co-host is Colin, digital marketing manager at Nielsen Automotive Group, and Josie's BMW store has over 20,000 followers on TikTok. How long, this is a two-part question, how long from starting your TikTok efforts before you noticed that, oh, this is cool, we're getting some traction here, and then how long till you hit your 20,000 milestone?
Sure, I can walk you through a timeline. So we started in September of 2019, and I was posting maybe once or twice a month at that point. I wasn't gaining too much traction, but I did see the value there. It was after I attended one of our Raptors game. I believe it was one of the pre-playoff games. And I was inspired by a song and I said, you know what, this is a really catchy song and I can really envision my team together doing a video with this song. So the next day it was, Saturday morning and we had to shovel snow off the cars. And I thought, this is a great opportunity. So I took advantage of it and I asked them to do a little dance in front of, it was very organic, but I kind of forced for some people. But I just took a quick little 15-second clip video, and that actually took off. People were really surprised that, wow, people are looking at us cleaning off snow off cars, right? And it was something that was very unpredictable, but, it actually gained a lot of popularity.
How important is frequency? Like you can come up with it's easy to come up with one clever idea and make a post on social media and then wait 6 weeks till the next clever idea hits you. How important is the frequency at which you guys have been doing it?
I think it's important to be consistent. That way you stay relevant, you stay fresh, you got to stay on top of trends as well. There's a lot of challenges that actually are on TikTok that actually will help you. If your goal is to gain a lot of followers or gain a lot of views, jump on a trend, right? You're going to get a lot more views. So for me, it's more like, come see the world that we live in at BMW Newmarket and meet the people that we have here.
Is there anything that you got that you have in the hopper that you're thinking, oh, this might be an idea for a video, or this might be something that we haven't tried yet that we want to try?
I'm not too sure what we want to do next. I know I wanted to do something for our 20,000, hitting our milestone of 20,000 followers, but I'm not too sure exactly what that's going to look like yet. Normally these ideas randomly come to me and I just act them out. And it's hard to get everybody on board as well and to have some time for that, but I want to do that.
All my ideas for when I used to be the marketing director at a group, all my ideas for whether it was marketing plans, media plans, social posts, usually like TV commercials, all those ideas came to me either in the shower, too much information, or when I was driving, where I have no place to write things down. So I would get to the office and the owner at one of the stores, like my home-based store, I would say, Todd, I was in the shower this morning and I had a great idea for our next TV spot. And he'd be like, really, dude? You could have started that conversation with, I had a really good idea for our next TV spot. That's when all the ideas come to me. When do you think of your stuff? Just randomly pop into your head?
They randomly pop into my head. I'll be at the store. I'll see an opportunity, as in, they're moving a car out of the showroom, or a new car just landed and they're moving it. And I'll say, hold on, let me grab my camera, right? and I just go from there. So it's very last minute, and I just see the opportunities as they come up.
Sure. So I think that's actually the beauty. I'm sorry, Matt. The beauty of social media. We very active on LinkedIn, both Matt and I. We see that you're on there as well, and you see a lot of different agencies and companies. I believe it was Adweek at one point had asked, what have you learned about social media within the past 3 months? And a lot obviously is going on with COVID-19 and some political unrest and all these things going on with these. Facebook and these big corporate sponsors that are backing out of these different areas. A lot of that, though, is you need to be on the pulse of what's going on, right, currently in the state of the union, whether it's the United States or up in Canada. So I like how you had mentioned that a lot of what you do is unscripted, but I also then on the other side would say, do you think in some instance it's beneficial or would be beneficial to kind of put together a content calendar as you might for other social avenues, so okay, I need to post at X, Y, and Z, these times or around these holidays because it's relevant? Or do you think that actually dilutes from the beauty of TikTok, because TikTok is a very free-flowing, expressive platform? And then my last thing for you would be, do you think that, ultimately, because of what TikTok is and that free-flowing platform, how are you keeping a gauge on what the trends are? I swear, my girlfriend, she loves TikTok, and she keeps trying to get me to do dances with her. And I love dancing, but I haven't gotten there to be like, hey, I want to go viral on TikTok, because I think I got pretty good dance moves. But the fact of the matter is, how do you keep track of all of those trends, whether it's the different dances or, what's going on? Is that because you're more active on the platform, you think, or what's your process to stay on top of those things?
Of course. I think traditional forms of having an event calendar and having scheduled posts works really well with Facebook. It works very well with Instagram and LinkedIn. But in terms of TikTok, it's the unknown nature of what's going to come next or what's going to be trending that keeps everybody wanting to stay relevant. What that does is it makes people open up their phones, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day to see, okay, what's going on right now, right? And you see kind of through there what's trending, because what's trending on TikTok is way different from what's trending on Facebook or on Instagram. And I think it also adds, I think TikTok actually influences Instagram in a way in setting trends, because there's the new songs that come out and they take over all of our social medias. On YouTube, it becomes #1, right? So like a lot of the Drake songs that he had video challenges to, now they're very popular on TikTok, but also on YouTube and now on Instagram. So I feel like in that order, it would be YouTube, TikTok, and then Instagram that would have that social media hierarchy kind of thing.
Yeah. Very cool.
So you're using TikTok organically. You're not using like the advertising paid side of it. What kind of metrics are available to you through TikTok the way you're using it, if any?
So it would just be the regular ones that you see
Hmm.
on our page, our landing page. I know that recently TikTok has changed and there are categories for businesses or for content creator. I did try to go into the category of a business, but it took away all of my ability to use popular songs. So I went and I put it through to change the category to a content creator because I'm not selling. All I'm doing is I'm making you aware of this is what's going on here,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Not selling, sure.
Right. The idea is that I'm showing you a car and maybe you'll want it,
Right.
right? Or you'll have a comment about it or you'll share it to your friends and you'll know who BMW Newmarket is.
So I was did some research last night and noticed that a lot of the stores in your group, you guys have a lot of sort of higher end, brands: Aston Martin, Audi, Bentley, BMW. Some high end brands, but you have a couple of brands that are more along like Hyundai and Honda and that kind of stuff. Do you think part of the TikTok success you guys are having is because BMW has such a loyal following across the country, your country, our country, as opposed to how it might work out for a more, like a Hyundai or a Honda or a Nissan? Is some of it the fact that BMW is such a popular brand?
I think that part of it is true because BMW customers are very loyal and, they are a really nice sports car that a lot of people want to see, right? So even though it's not the regular customer that is viewing this, let's say it's not a BMW customer, it could be a Honda driver, right? People who drive Kias. It doesn't matter really what brand people drive, but it's really nice to look at vehicles, and it's just like going to the auto show, right?
Yeah.
It's seeing the car without actually having to be somewhere.
I was thinking when we used to put videos on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot in my last group, we would see obviously a huge difference in a cool video about a, GTR Nismo than we would about a, Sentra two-wheel drive S model, because the GTR is a hot car. Supercar people like that vehicle, whether you're a guy who's going to be able to buy a $150,000 Nismo GTR or not. It's a car that you like to watch videos on. One of those cars you might dream about. And I think BMW, probably BMW, Mercedes, Bentley, Maserati, all have that similar sort of brand. People dream of those things. So I'm sure that part of your success probably is the fact that you're at a brand that has, mass appeal in terms of, man, I'd love to own one of those someday. A lot of people probably won't. I'm not going to be able to buy a BMW anytime in the near future. But if you're into BMWs, there's collectors and enthusiasts and fans and people who will watch those videos. I'd be interested to see, and maybe Colin, we'll talk about this maybe in another episode. But you and I have more experience in more mid-level brands. So I wonder if there's a way to translate some of that success to, Nissan, Ford, Hyundai, Honda type manufacturer.
Yeah, listen, I think, you bring up a very good point about the brand. Absolutely. I think a lot of those brands, the tier, those luxury brands, right, are aspirational vehicles. So someone says, hey, that's a really nice car. Of course, you're always going to want the brighter, redder, faster Ferrari, right? Or you're always going to want a nicer vehicle than you drive. So I love that, about the fact that you are leveraging that brand, which is a great brand to do that. But for one, we want to commend you on the fact that you actually took the initiative to do it, regardless of what the brand is. I think that that's really cool because you're probably one of the first movers. And, I don't speak for everyone, but in the space, I haven't really seen many other dealerships for that matter that have said, hey, this is how successful we've been on TikTok. So kudos to you. But yeah, Matt, to bring it up, I mean, there are brands, for example, we have 3 Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram stores. They came out with last year the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. It's an 800 horsepower Jeep. So there's a lot of novelty behind a lot of those vehicles. A Dodge Challenger, SRT, or a Hellcat, or the Demon. I mean, when they brought out these things, which are these excessively fast vehicles, but there are buyers for them. I think you can absolutely leverage it. Chevy with the new Corvette. I mean, it all comes down to whatever. It's probably a vehicle in the lineup, but you can absolutely leverage it. But yeah, I'd love to talk about that in the future. One of the things that I was really thinking about, and Josie, I want to know your opinion on this. So for me, we know that the demographics for TikTok, it gauges younger. So I believe it's 18 to 24 years of age is like the sweet spot of who's on TikTok. And then there is a percentage, and I just saw this on the news the other day. It was very interesting how this worked out. I was going to be talking to you, and then it was on the news. But then there's a percentage, I think it was like 15% of the users are over the age of 35, actually. Really? So I don't know. I'm not in between either of those. I'm 28, so I'm kind of like in that, purgatory area, if you will. But the fact that there's 35 or 15% of the people, granted it's a small number, are 35 years of age or older, and then the majority are 18 to 24. Do you think that, it could be someone who is viewing this BMW as an aspirational vehicle who might be 18 to 24 and still has mommy and daddy there with them to say, hey, either you guys should buy this car, or let me show you something I saw on TikTok, or, mommy, I've been very good lately. I've gotten great grades in college, for my first vehicle. Can I get a BMW? Do you think that could play a role or absolutely impacts what you're doing?
Of course. I think the younger generation who might just be getting into buying a new car, I think it's a great thing for them to see our brand on social media, on TikTok, because it gives them an idea if they want to aspire and have goals to maybe one day own a BMW.
Sure.
Right? And maybe their parents also would like to know what the new models are or what the capabilities are. I know potentially I will do a lot more educational videos as to the apps that are available on the vehicles and also all of the features. I take it that those videos will do better with the growing demand for content that's for education purpose. And I think that is the future of this, because I've seen people who give you a 15-second clip into how to refinance a mortgage, and those videos take off, right? So there is a growing need for education, and I think it's being delivered in a way on TikTok that grasps people's full attention for the 15 seconds, and you get your point across.
Josie, listen, we really appreciate your time. This has been a good discussion. I've learned a lot. I think there's some great information in here that our dealer friends listening and our vendor partners who check out the show could take away for sure. I'm encouraging everybody to check out Josie's BMW store's TikTok. It's BMW Newmarket. And oh, here you go. Oh no, you just search BMW Newmarket on the TikTok, and you can find it. Anything else you want to add, Colin? I mean, Colin, we'll stick around after. But any other questions for Josie?
So, Josie, no, I mean, once again, thank you for being on the show. My last question, and it's almost like a little bit of homework, so I'm hoping we can stay in touch.
Homework?
I'm giving her homework, okay? This is an educational show. But so my homework for you, listen, you don't have to do the homework. You'll still pass. It's fine. But it would be looking at your engagement on TikTok and seeing if the people that are following you, right, out of your current followers, is it a lot of the same people? This would be very interesting to me. Is it a lot of the same people that are interacting or engaging with your posts? Or is it a smattering of a whole bunch of different people? Because my thought process is if it's a lot of the same people, that means that those are actually quite engaged, loyal people. And if they're people that have not bought from you, that could be someone who you can automatically move a little further down the funnel, even though you're not selling anything. But the fact of the matter is you got to look at it in those terms of engagement. I mean, if there are people that, let's say it was me, I've liked every single one of your posts, well, that means I'm an advocate for your brand. I know you guys exist. I think it's cool what you do. So that's what I'd be interested to see is what is that engagement like, if it's a lot of the same people or if it's all different people. So very cool. So there's your challenge if you'll take it. You don't have to.
Send us,
Yeah.
send us some tacos. Make it worth our while.
There you go. I'll incentivize you by sending you some tacos.
Thank you.
Josie, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Josie. Bye.
There you go.
And then there were two.
She did great.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, that's such an awesome platform. You know, it's like uncharted territory. I think it's one of those things that people want to know more about it, yet dealers and advertisers in general are hesitant because, one, they automatically know that this might not be the demographic that I want to target, right? Dealers are always looking for these people that are super low funnel, that, you know, have this disposable income that they're ready to convert. But I think we'd be surprised, and you might find out that there are individuals on the platform, sure, 18 to 24, it's the Gen Zers, but the fact of the matter is 24-year-olds could be looking, you know, even younger, 22, 23, 24, could be looking for a first vehicle. And the fact of the matter is they still have a tremendous amount of input on, I believe, a purchase decision for their families, right? So there's someone that would go talk to their parents and say, hey, did you see this car? Let me show you this TikTok. Everyone knows about it. So I think that that's definitely something that could be very powerful moving forward.
You know, for those listening who may have agreed with what we said about the OEM and the brand, an aspiration car, as you called it, being the only way to be successful on this, you made a good point. Is if you look within your model lineup, every brand probably has that car, like the GTR for Nissan, or some souped up racing version of a Civic for Honda. Talking about the Corvette for your Chevy store. I mean, Jeep Wranglers, you have a couple CDGR stores, right? So Wranglers have a loyal following. The Gladiator is new. Like you said, there's that new Grand Cherokee Trailhawk Rubicon speed thing out there. Those vehicles do have loyal followings. It doesn't just have to be Mustang fans or BMW or Mercedes advocates. Those other brands probably have a model that people seek out information on, right? Like Toyota has a Supra.
That's right. I mean, that's right. I think it really comes down to taking the model in the lineup, right, or whatever it is, as you had specified, and doing something creative with it. I think a lot of it, you know, why TikTok is the way it is. Like I said, it's a place for creativity. People go express themselves. You know, what's very interesting is we used to have this thing called Vine, right? I'm sure a lot of people remember Vine. So Vine to me was TikTok. I don't know why TikTok has become so much more successful when Vine basically was that. I think it is just the shift in the generations. Gen Zers now outnumber millennials. Originally, we were all concerned about millennials. I mean, I'm a millennial. We're still trying to target millennials for, you know, our advertising and things like that. But now it's Gen Zers are outnumber us. And the fact of the matter is, you know, sure, they might not be ready to purchase yet, but I've always been a believer that the sooner you get in front of a person and you send them a relevant message or something that they're interested in and interact with, as long as it makes sense for you. Listen, I'm not saying go spend a lot of money to try to get these people who might be very far up the funnel. But what I am saying is have fun creating content that you can put out there that not only resonates with those individuals, but can resonate and be leveraged on the other platforms, as Josie had stated, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can put those videos on those platforms. Actually, even on TikTok, there was a Pinterest button. I mean, you know me, I'm the biggest Pinterest fan in the world. And the fact of the matter is there's a Pinterest button off of TikTok. Really? So yeah, I mean, and it's just one of those things where create the video, leverage it on all these different channels. Next thing you know, you have all different demographics looking at it. So you have the youngsters in TikTok or Gen Z. You have millennial generation and boomers and above that on Facebook now. You have business professionals of all different ages on LinkedIn. You have Pinterest, which we know the audience is primarily female, 80% female, first families, right? Young mothers that are on there. So I think it's just about what the content is ultimately, and then disseminating it out to those different markets. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's super interesting.
One of the things that I think maybe Josie underplayed a little bit is the importance of support from upper management, right? And you know, you think about it from the aspect of, I feel like in a lot of situations, there's probably managers, owners, executive managers, whoever it is, who their thought is probably just like, it's a huge waste of time,
Right.
which will stifle the person who's handling its creativity and their ability to make it effective at all for the dealership, which then in effect makes it a waste of time.
Right.
I think you have to let your people kind of stretch their legs a little bit and do it. And it sounds like her group, who I had not heard of until yesterday in Canada, it seems like they're kind of like the Lithia of Canada land. And I did some research on their group. It looks like a fantastic group. It's family owned. It's not a big, stock market traded conglomerate. It's family owned. And it sounds like from the top, like the corporate level down to the level at the store, down to people who are, the people who are doing the hard work like Josie, supports that, which I think is super important for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, buy-in from the top is absolutely key. I mean, not even just on the social media side of things, but with operations and people bringing up ideas and ways to implement better processes at the dealership. It's definitely a top-down buy-in, and there needs to be not only the buy-in, but holding the people accountable, which Josie had discussed, the social media champions, putting together kind of guidelines on what these people need to do in order to go out and make sure that the content is within what the dealership is looking to actually promote. Let me just pose this question to any dealers that might be listening out there, or watching for that matter live. Wouldn't you want to put your brand out there in a positive light on these platforms that an audience is actively engaging, that you don't have to spend any advertising dollars to actually get your message out there? All you're doing is you're supporting the creativity of your staff, which not only would probably make them happier because they think that you actually care now and are saying, wow, they're giving me creative liberty, but then you're supporting what they're doing. I think that just makes for a happier environment. And we know the battles that the automotive, our industry is up against, not only from a consumer facing perspective, but even internally. Let's make the dealership a fun place to work. Let's support our staff, because when you support your staff, they're going to do a better job for you. In the end, by them doing a better job for you, you're going to do it better. You're going to make more money. You're going to sell more cars. You're going to do all these things that you keep wanting to do, but then you're like, no, I don't want to do that. It's a waste of time, or it's a waste of money. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe you need to give it a shot, because the only thing that you risk is you do it and then it doesn't work. But what happens if you do it and then it does work? Right,
exactly. Before we wrap this up and end the episode, let's just go back to one point that you made earlier. I want to talk about your dance moves. You said before that your girlfriend is a TikTok user and has been encouraging you to be involved in her TikTok videos, and you haven't done it yet despite having good dance moves. First of all, I mean, I don't know you that well, but we've talked quite a bit over the last few weeks. Dance moves wouldn't have been on the top 3 things I'd used to describe you. So is that true? And does your girlfriend agree with you? And when are we going to see them on TikTok?
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I thought this was going to be a challenge coming. My girlfriend, if she's listening right now, would probably be very, very happy that you've now goaded me into saying, sure, I'll do a TikTok. So I think that's something that we can work on this weekend. Yes, and the dance moves are, in fact, true. I can probably get you some footage for the next time that you bring me on the show from a Christmas party that we had at the Automotive Group, where I will, in fact, show you all the dance moves in that video. I got my red velvet jacket on and my red velvet smoking slippers, and I'm just gliding across the floor. So it's true. I don't make that up. I take my dancing very seriously.
I actually believe that if you send me that video, I could put that on our live broadcast here on Restream.
Right now?
No, not right now. I believe that if you send it to me next time, I can play that on the broadcast and it will work.
I will show you that the industry, at least what I like to do, I like to work hard and I like to play hard. And I think that that's the mentality of a lot of dealers out there is we love. There's no problem in making money and making a profit. We love to work hard to do that. But then we also like to play hard and reward ourselves. So I think that's the happy balance. So yes, that video I will get to you, and that's the epitome of work hard and play hard.
We want to thank Josie Vaccaro, e-commerce and customer service coordinator at BMW Newmarket, for joining us today. I also want to thank Restream. Restream.io. It's pretty cool. You can stream live to 30 plus social platforms at once. So this is a podcast that usually comes out bi-weekly-ish on all the podcast formats, Apple, Google, Spotify, all the other ones that are out there. But because of Restream, we can live stream it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever that is. We're not on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is an option. Daily Motion. There's 30 options, a lot of which I've never even heard of. They have all the good ones and a bunch of other ones that you can stream a podcast, a video, a webinar. You can use it for your business to get your message out there to all your platforms at once. I mean, there's a million different uses for it. So check them out, restream.io, allowing you to stream 30 plus social platforms at once. You can follow them on Twitter at restream.io. Colin, I appreciate the co-host duties. How was your first co-hosting experience?
Listen, like I said, man, I've always aspired to be a superhero. So I guess to be your Robin to your Batman, I should say, is great. And maybe next time we'll have to wear costumes or something. But no, it was great. As always, Matt, I think the conversation is thought-provoking. We talk about mostly automotive marketing, mostly. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, I think that this is a great platform. Always happy to help out. And let's just keep it going. Hopefully you bring me back so you guys can see that dance move or, the dance moves. And a big pleasure. Everyone check out TikTok and see if, for example, you are utilizing some other platforms. I just want to say this because I know, Matt and I are always looking for content, right? So if you have cracked the code on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Pinterest. Yeah, thank you. Well, that's mine to crack. So if you have, reach out to Matt or myself on LinkedIn. You can follow Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson on Facebook. And I believe you want to just talk about the LinkedIn profile is the same, correct?
Yes, it is.
So Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson. Go send him a message, follow him. We're trying to increase the listenership here because we have a message that we want people to hear and we want people to interact with this and call in when you can and whatnot. So find us on LinkedIn and let's find something to talk about and keep marketing.
I love it. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to hire Colin to be my PR guy. He does a better job of promoting the podcast than I do. Anyway, thank you for listening, joining us live. However you were checking out Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson, I appreciate it. It's a bi-weekly-ish podcast, mostly about automotive marketing, which is, it says it in the name. I don't have to repeat it. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Have a great one.
Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson is brought to you by... Wait, this guy has sponsors? Oh, never mind. This sheet of paper's blank. No sponsors. That makes more sense. For updates, info, future episodes, and more, follow on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and connect on Frackle. You guys made that last one up. That's not even a thing, Frackle.